All right, so I'm here with Robin. Robin, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Tell me about yourself. Where you from?
I'm originally from Maryland. I was born here. I am 48 years old, and I unfortunately am homeless. Um, I've been homeless for about a year. I have 4 kids. Um, one of them is actually getting ready to graduate school and getting ready to go to college, hopefully, as long as he gets a scholarship and, you know, just try to live day by day.
Yeah, no, I get it. What led up to you becoming homeless?
When we were I was living in Florida, because my mother-in-law had passed away from cancer. My husband and I had relocated back there to be with her during her end of days. And when we came back to Maryland, we thought we were purchasing a house. And unfortunately, going through Craigslist and marketplace on Facebook was not actually a good idea, considering the fact that I was robbed of $40,000.
Uh, what did they What did they do? Just create a scam to make it look like they had property for sale?
They had a property for sale. We actually came up. We were never able to go inside of the property because the guy was out of town. Um, but we were able to look at the property from the outside, which it looked like it was a vacant home. Um, by the time we got ready to move in, when we went to go into the house, there was somebody in there working on it, and we knocked on the door, and I had thought that it was the guy that I had been speaking with, as far as the housing, you know, and all of his documentation and whatnot that he had had. I mean, he had an ID, a fake ID that matched the tax rolls and everything. And so I thought it would be him inside working on the house, just finishing touches. And when I knocked on the door, the guy came to the door and he says, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, we're here to meet up with somebody because we had purchased this house." And he says, "Well, I don't know how you purchased it because it's my house. And I'm here getting ready to move into it." And we were kind of left out in limbo. We were supposed to be going to closing that day and everything else, and ended up talking to the police for about 2.5 hours to find out that we were scammed.
Gotcha. Where do you stay at now? Hotel.
Right now, I stay at hotels. I hop around. I go anywhere from it, depending on where the cheapest rates are. I tend to stay clear from Jessup because the hotel up in Jessup that I've stayed in previously is not a very good area for my children. So I tend to go between Lithicum and here because it just depends on which is cheaper for the night. So
Is you and you had mentioned before we started talking that your husband was incarcerated.
yeah, he was incarcerated. He actually had met people out here panhandling, and they had offered him a job to go and do a repo. And he thought that it was a stand-up job, being trusting and everything. And he talked to these people multiple times. He went up to go help the guy repo the car. When he got into the car and drove off, he was pulled over by police officers to find out that the car was in fact stolen, and he is now in jail. So
How long is he locked up for?
he's been locked up for about 3 months now.
And how much longer does he have to go? He
Uh,
hadn't been to court yet.
he hasn't been to court yet because it happened in Virginia. They will not release him until his court hearing.
Gotcha. Is there any communication still?
We get to talk once a week. He gets a free 5-minute phone call and gets to talk to me. Basically asks how I'm holding up and how are the kids doing, and you know, making sure that I'm still around.
Yeah. How are the kids handling this?
The kids are okay. They're troopers. My daughters are a little bit more affected by it because my 2 sons are not my husband's biological children. He's raised them, but they're still, they still consider him stepdad. And my 2 daughters are his biological children, and they take it a little bit hard because they miss their father. And
Sure.
the fact that we're in the hotel and everything else, as long as they've got a place that they feel safe at, they're okay with it. Um, Basically, I come out every day and just try to make the money for the hotel and food, and we go from there.
Yeah. Do you have any previous work experience?
I do.
Doing what?
I've worked in real estate. I've done hotel management. Let's see, I've managed fast food restaurants as far as like Dunkin' Donuts, Kenny Rogers Rotisserie when they were back open a long time ago. I've worked for Century 21 for about 8 years.
If somebody sees this and maybe has an opportunity to to work and things like that, is there a way? Do you have any contact information?
I sure
that
do.
you want to share?
Yeah, my telephone number's it's a government phone, but it's
Do you have any kind of email or?
yeah, it's my full name. It's ROBINWILKIE 212004@gmail.com.
Is there anything you or the kids need? I mean, obviously housing, like clothes, things like that.
Clothing would be great. We were staying over at a place in Laurel when we first became homeless. Within 3 months, they decided that they didn't want to do long-term stays, and they kicked us out, and I lost everything I had because they basically gave me like 30 minutes to collect my things and get out.
Yeah.
So,
what size clothes like does everyone wear? How old
my,
are the kids?
my kids are, my oldest is 17. My next oldest would be 16, and then I have a 12 and a 14-year-old.
Yes, yeah. Are they still able to get back and forth to school?
Currently they're actually homeschooled right now.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's it like out here? What's the hardest thing about having a
The comments that you get, because people think that you're a druggie or you're addicted to things or that you're faking or you're scamming like some of these other people. Because, I mean, I've met all kinds of characters out here doing it. Some people that don't need to be out here, that are out here because they just want extra money in their pockets and want to be able to afford to drive a Dodge Charger and pay for their condo. But the comments that you get from people, people trying to solicit you for sex, or thinking that you're doing drugs or you're out here for no good reason. And the only reason I even come out every day and get up every morning is because I have 4 kids, and they all expect me to keep them in a place and keep them safe. And that's my job as a mom. So I do it every day.
Do you deal with any kind of depression after all this?
Sometimes I do wake up and I'm a little upset.
Yeah.
I'm going to get teary-eyed now because it's hard.
It is hard.
My father is in a nursing home, and the whole reason I even came back from Florida was because of my father. And his biggest fear is dying in a nursing home. He doesn't want to die around a bunch of people he doesn't know. He wants to be surrounded by people that love him. And my family basically threw him away when they thought that he was beyond the point of their help. And instead of calling me and asking me if they could send him to me in Florida, they basically put him in a nursing home. And by the time I found out that he was in a nursing home, it was too late for me to bring him to me. I had to come up here and relocate. So I wish that, things could have been a little bit different, because I probably wouldn't be in this situation. I'd still be in Florida. But, you get up every day and you keep striving to go. And I don't have an option to fail. I have to get up every day, and I have to do this every day because I have 4 kids that depend on me.
Yeah.
So.
Do you still get any kind of communication with your father-in-law?
Yeah, I talk to him all the time. All the time. He calls me maybe about 5 or 6 times a day.
Yes.
And it's always, when are you coming to get me? When are you coming to get me? Well, Dad, I can't, because I can't take you into a hotel. They won't allow me to take you into a hotel. They got to make sure I have a house before I can even get you out of here.
What's the best memory you have of you and him?
My father and I? Oh, God. Going to see The Never-Ending Story with him in the movie theater. It was probably my first time ever going to a movie, and it was playing, and my dad asked me if I wanted to play hooky from school and go with him. And I told my dad, yeah, let's do that. And we ended up going up to Laurel Movie Theater and watching The Never-Ending Story, and it was probably the best day of my life.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And he was present for all 4 of my kids. So.
Yeah. Is mom still around or?
No, she died of cancer 18 years ago.
Sorry to hear. Yeah, my mom passed away of cancer as well.
Yeah, she passed away right before I gave birth to my son. So she would have probably have loved it. She knew I was pregnant. Um, she had lung cancer, and it started out in her brain, and it metastasized to her lung, and then spread throughout her whole entire body. And they tried to do chemo and did surgery to remove the tumor out of her head, but it ended up causing her to go into strokes, and she had multiple strokes that killed her.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Robin, I'm gonna definitely keep you in my prayers. You know,
please do.
I appreciate you sharing your story. Hopefully, somebody out here that sees it can kind of learn from it and benefit from it, and know that they're not alone.
Yeah, just make sure you do your homework. I mean, I did, but sometimes your homework is not good enough. Bang on that door, make sure that there's not somebody else living there before you even give them money. So, you know, because some of these scammers are pretty good.
It's gonna turn around.
Yep.
It's gonna turn.
I'm faithful about that. I mean, like I said, I've met people that shouldn't be out here, but they've given me, in all honesty, probably more answers than any of the actual help that Maryland provides. Like they've given me like places, hey, go check this place out because this place does it by income. You don't have an income, so they may be able to put you up for a lower price. And so a lot of the things that they've told me, they've helped me out with.
Gotcha. Robin, I appreciate you sharing your story.
No problem. Thank you.